Hey, what's up? My name is PJ, and in this video we're going to be answering some viewer questions. Hope you enjoy. Okay, if you'd like your question to be featured on a video, then you can slide on into my DMs on Instagram at PJPantelis. Let's get into it. Okay, the first question I have is from Jinit Salva Photography. Hello, I'm Jinit from Mumbai, India. I'm currently an automotive photographer, but I'm trying to get into music photography. I'm confused which camera to go for. My budget is around $1,000 US. Can you please suggest me something good? Blah, 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 blah. I got to know you about you from your YouTube channel. Jinit, thank you so much for the question, man. I really appreciate it. So you are currently in automotive photography. Let me check out your page real quick. 17 years old. Cool. So I'm assuming you already have a camera of some type, and I'm not sure why you can't just shoot bands with that one. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you shoot already. I'm just going to assume that you don't have a camera. Well, I know that you do have a camera, but let's just start from fresh. If you want a camera for music photography, first of all, I would say shoot with the system that you're on. I'm assuming it's probably Nikon or Canon if I had to guess. A great choice for $1,000 US. I did a quick bit of research just now. On the Canon side, a used Canon 6D would be fantastic. You could pick one up for under $1,000 US and then get a cheap 50mm 1.8 lens. That'd be a great starting setup. Obviously, full frame is excellent. You get a little bit better noise performance. It's going to focus a little bit better and a little bit better field of view and depth of field as well. And the dog is barking downstairs, it's driving me nuts. If you don't want to go full frame, or you can't afford to go full frame, or maybe you've already got some crop sensor lenses, on the Canon side, something like a used 70D would be good, and then you would have more money to put into glass later. Otherwise, recently I've shot a lot of this year with a Canon 750D and 24mm pancake lens, which I highly recommend. You could definitely get that combo for well under $1,000 US. On the Nikon side, perhaps something like a D7200. I used to have a D7000 years ago, absolutely loved it. I did all my music photos on it, and that's a much older camera than the D7200. And Nikon does a fantastic 35mm 1.8G for a couple $100, so that'd be a great place to start. Thank you for the question, Jeanette. All right, next question we have is from XR Photography X. Hey PJ, I think you should start doing critiques in your videos. Be a cool way to be in touch with your fan. I like to see what you think of my work. I love what you're doing on YouTube and just came over to have a look. Your photo on Insta, really cool work. From the UK. Andrew Hurl Photography. Andrew, thank you for the question, man. I would honestly love to start doing critiques. I've avoided it for so long because personally I don't like having my work critiqued, because I don't know, I don't take it very well, and I find that the sort of people that do critiques online are the sort of people that just pick apart things unnecessarily. Just say things about the photo that would change the photo. Like, I kind of feel like that the photo that you take is your interpretation of what you've seen in front of you. Obviously there are little compositional things that you can fix, or little things in the edit that you can fix, but sometimes I find the critiques that I've seen online are just a little bit too hurtful and personal. That being said, if you do want me to critique your work, I would be happy to do it, because it is a really quick win for me. It's a really cool way to interact and an easy bit of content. I promise I won't be too harsh, but, and there's a big but, I'm not going to critique anyone's work who's already at a high level. If you genuinely want help with your photos, if you're getting into photography and you genuinely want me to constructively critique your photos, then send me some photos. You can either just DM me at PJPantelis, PJPantelis, or send me a photo or a group of photos, or maybe a portfolio at pj@bigfansphoto.com, because this is not going to be just a way where you can send me pictures that you really like and I'm just gonna like talk you up on a video. It's not gonna happen that way. So chances are if your photos are already at a high level, I'm just not gonna critique you. But yeah, if you are new to the game or newish, happy to go over your work and give you some feedback on that. Thank you for the question, Andrew. Next one is Sheepwash69. Hello, I saw your video about the gear you took while traveling Europe. I'm traveling Australia next year and planning on starting a vlog on YouTube. I'm just curious if you have any advice on gear for me. Cheers. And I'm traveling for a year minimum, so I'll be editing while on the go. I was going to take a tablet for it. Do you think it will be enough? Planning on taking a main camera and GoPro just for fun so I can try and do some decent edits and stand out with my channel. Jamie Sheepwash Parsons. Jamie, thank you for the question, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to get in contact. If you're traveling and doing a vlog, I definitely wouldn't recommend a tablet. You can do sort of like what I did, which was just one take videos. So shoot the video, upload it to the tablet. You know, you can trim the ends, maybe put a title on if you're keen, and then just upload it as is. But if you're going to be starting a vlog and trying to make visually beautiful videos, I wouldn't recommend a tablet. Unfortunately, there's no really good way to do that apart from having a small laptop, a MacBook or something kind of like that. Yeah, tablet is fine. I did all of my, I was editing raw files on my iPad Air 2, no worries. Photos, easy, but video, there's no really good way to do it. I'm not sure what camera system you had. I mentioned in one of the previous questions with Janit, I absolutely loved the Canon 24mm EFS Pancake. I always rave about that lens because it's so cheap. It's like under $200 and it's just a fantastic focal length. 24mm on crop sensor is excellent. It's very similar to 35mm and on a Canon crop sensor body. I absolutely love that. GoPro is good. I mentioned it in that video you're talking about, but I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with GoPro. It's fun for little B-roll things or throwaways or just like having a bit of fun jumping off a cliff or whatever, but I don't really like my GoPro. Honestly, my best recommendation for like vlogging, for just like talking to a camera and just on the go stuff where you don't have to worry about settings or audio or anything, is the Canon G7X Mark II, and the Sony has their equivalent, which is I believe the RX100 Mark IV. Those sort of little compact cameras are going to give you the 80-20, you know, the most output for the smallest input. You're going to probably spend $700 to $1,000 on a compact camera like that, but it does everything pretty well. And I'm pretty sure the little Sony camera can even do like 120 frames a second, maybe even more. But yeah, I've got the Canon G7X, it's fantastic, and that's what I recorded my videos on while I was away. Thank you so much for the message, Matt. Next question is from Callum O'Keefe00. Hi, big fan of your videos. I was wondering if you use the Sigma dock for your Sigma Art lens, and if so, how you have calibrated your lens for live concert image. Big thanks. Callum from South Wales. Callum, thank you so much for the message, man. I don't have the Sigma dock, but I did look into it. My Sigma lens actually worked fantastic out of the box, but I know that they don't all. This, in what I've kind of read, is the only drawback of the Sigma Art lenses. Sometimes, and I think all lenses do this, but sometimes you get one that's not always spot on. My mate Lockie bought one. I recommended, he shoots like a 700D, I think. I recommended that he get the Sigma 18-35 1.8 art lens, which is a just unreal combination. It's an unreal focal length and it's super fast and just a generally very good lens for a for a crop sensor camera. He got one of those and it works well on his camera. I actually borrowed it to do a review on my 750D and it was so out of whack. Nothing was focusing. I was wondering if the contacts were dirty. I was taking it on, putting it off again, taking it off, putting it on again, and it just wouldn't work for me. It wouldn't focus at all. My review was completely useless. So I did look into getting the dock because I was wondering if maybe I had recommended this lens to Lockie and maybe it was a bung lens, but it seems to work very well on his camera, just not on mine. So that's another thing that I would say. If you already have, I'm assuming you have a Sigma art lens and it's not working perfectly on your body. If that's the case, try it on someone else's body, rent one or go to the camera shop and try it. because the chances are you might have got one that's slightly off. As far as I know, it is very fiddly to calibrate. I've seen some videos of people doing it, and you need a chart and you need a couple of hours and you need to be very patient. But it is doable. I think the dock is like $70, $80 Australian. But yeah, what I would say is try it on a different body, try it on a rental or something, and just see if it's the body or the lens or what's not playing nice. Otherwise, see if you can maybe borrow a dock, or maybe you can get someone to calibrate it for you. That's what I would be doing, because I just don't have the time or patience to sit there for a couple of hours and calibrate a lens to a particular body. But yeah, that's my experience of Sigma Art. Thankfully, I've never had an issue, but I know there is an issue. I'm trying to think if I have any other questions deeper in my DMs that I've forgotten about. I actually do. So this question was in a comment on one of my videos, and Jurian Kuipers from Belgium asks, I got now a pretty cheap DSLR, Nikon D3300, and want to upgrade. Should I buy high-end crop or go full frame because it has a lot of pros like wide angle and shallow depths of field? The Sigma is a beast also. I think I'll hire that someday for a shoot. Jurian, this is like such a tough question to answer, and I think we've all asked ourselves this at some point. In my opinion, if you can afford it, full frame is obviously going to be a better choice, but I know that not everyone has a couple of grand to throw around. You can probably get a second-hand Nikon D610, or what's the one do they do? The D500 now, which is a full frame. Otherwise, if you can afford it, the 750D is still a fantastic camera. If not, just invest in glass. Put your money into glass. If you're shooting gigs, if you're shooting low light venues, then obviously the full frame is going to help you a lot, and it's going to help you focus better. But if you can't afford it, then put your money into glass. That's kind of the best advice I can give. If most bodies are going to be an upgrade from that D3300, but I've seen your pictures, Jurian, and you do a fantastic job with what you have. I think I mentioned in an earlier question, the D7200 would be a great upgrade if you can get one secondhand, because you could probably still get $300 or $400 for your D3300. If you could sell that and spend an extra $300 or $400 Australian, I'm not sure what it is in euro or whatever currency that you're used to, but if you could sell yours and upgrade with $300 or $400, I would definitely do that. Even if it is to a higher end crop sensor, the Nikon D7200 would be a good choice. Otherwise, maybe look for a used D610 or something like that. All right, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching my first Q&A video. If you would like to slide into my DMs, as I mentioned, you can do so at PJPantelis on Instagram. Alternatively, you can send me something to pj@bigpensphoto.com. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.